You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Tuesday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby, and I was up late last night.
Oh, are you worried about the whole Trudeau resigning thing? Is that what it was?
I mean, obviously, the plight of our country keeps me up most nights. But no, yesterday was a major happening in our world. The first episode of Monday Night Raw on Netflix.
Oh, yeah. That was last night, eh? How was it? Let's get a breakdown here, a little review.
Honestly, I think the thing that I was most impressed with was the quality of the stream.
It didn't glitch out like the Tyson fight?
The Tyson-Jake Paul fight was a disaster. Whatever went wrong there, they fixed it. It went off without a hitch. Crystal clear, perfect picture, great show. There were two moments that stood out for me, though, that I feel like the mainstream media is only talking about one of them, and that is Hulk Hogan got booed like he had just spit on every single fan in the building.
Do they not like Hulk Hogan anymore?
Yeah, well, I mean, Hulk Hogan's kind of a piece of shit these days, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we have these fond memories of I am a real American, and when that played in the arena in LA, everybody went nuts. But then he walked out, and especially like LA is a more like left-leaning kind of place.
Oh, he's a big like Trump guy, right?
He's a super big Trump guy. He's also, I mean, been sort of exposed for some maybe kind of racist tendencies, allegedly.
Yeah.
Just general scumbaggery. And he got booed. You could see it was getting to him, too. Like, this is a guy who's used to everywhere he goes.
He was the guy, yeah.
He's the Hulkster, brother.
Did he rip his shirt?
He did. He's got a beer company now called Real American Beer.
Of course he does.
And he ripped the shirt so that he could show a Netflix shirt underneath. That was the other thing. It's like, nothing he was saying was anything more than shilling for Netflix.
Yeah.
So the fans were like, shut the fuck up. We're here for
They're
wrestling.
just kissing the ring to Netflix all night, or what?
Oh, Jesus Christ. They showed them up in, like, the press box and the owner's boxes and stuff like that. They kept showing people from, like, Netflix specials, like that Gabriel Iglesias guy, carrying a championship belt, by the way. I guarantee you I could beat him for that belt. He should be forced to defend it, and I want first shot. And the second thing that no one is talking about is The Rock drank and drove on television last night.
What?
The Rock was there, obviously. They had him on TV for a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
He was the first person to come out to the ring for the Netflix show. All this shit, right? Then they showed him later in the show, and he's in the backstage, and they're showing clips and highlights of him interacting, high-fiving other wrestlers, rappers, celebrities, whatever. And he's carrying a bottle of, what's his tequila brand? Terramana, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
He's just carrying this bottle because he's all about product placement. And a couple times he takes a swig out of it as he's walking around. And the segment ends with him in his truck being like, I'll see you tomorrow night on NXT, and then driving away. No one is talking about how The Rock needs to be brought to justice for this.
That's a real heel turn, just getting a DUI. Can you smell what The Rock is drinking?
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I do want to give you fair warning. I've been trying to sneeze for the past 2 minutes before we went on air, and then it won't come.
I'm so excited for this to just randomly happen somewhere in the next 5 to 10 minutes.
I'm blue sneezed right now.
Blue nostriled?
Oh my God.
Blue
man.
sinus?
Like trying to look at the light before the break started, and now I'm just like...
Isn't it one of those things like, how did people figure out that staring at the lights made you sneeze? Like, especially if you think back to like pre-industrial times, before there was lighting in the ceilings everywhere, like... Did people just feel that tingle in their brain and go, I need to stare at the sun?
It's also funny to just tell someone to stare at the sun. Yeah.
You're having a bed like, I feel something in my brain. Why don't you just look at that giant fireball in the sky?
What's the other thing they used to do in movies is like, here, sniff some pepper. Like,
oh, yeah. TV and movies led me to believe that if you ever cracked pepper in like a careless or reckless way, that people would just sneeze from now till the end of time.
Yeah.
Like any kind of pepper would just absolutely destroy a room full of people.
I know some people that if you give them any spices, their bodies just react like that.
Well, yeah, they're called white people. I'm one of them.
I need you to go get some pepper and try and like throw it in my face right now.
Now, would you rather I do the throw, or would you rather one of those like really mystical like blowing out of the bomb so that the cloud surrounds you in the face.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, too, is that, like, when they showed in movies and especially cartoons that if pepper got, like, into your vicinity, you would start
Oh, it's going to
sneezing.
mess you up, yeah.
Now we find out that with pepper sprays, it won't make you sneeze. It will cripple your entire body. It will shut your life down, and you'll just have to end your day.
If you get peppered sprays, you don't start sneezing? That's not what happens? No?
You know what? It's also another thing, talking about, like, how did people discover you should stare at lights?
Yeah.
Who then was the first person to get that stuff in their eyes or any kind of, like, substance in their eyes and determined that milk was what made it better? How many other things did we pour on people who had, like, pepper in their eyes before someone was like, I don't know, try that cow's teat, spray it in there and see if that makes it better?
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I do want to say thank you to everyone who has texted in their suggestions on how to make myself sneeze this morning. I've been holding my phone's camera light at my face for the past 10 minutes and still nothing.
Yeah, apparently there is a myth about the staring at the lights. For as often as it works, it's more to do with genetics in reacting to light than just, like, anybody can do it, from what I've seen. But I did find some other tips, and we had some very wonderful people texting in, giving some advice.
I did like Ashley. She texted in and said, watch some videos of people sneezing. Maybe it'll get you fired up.
It works with yawning. Like, I just said the word yawn, and I guarantee you within the next 30 seconds, a handful of people listening are going to
It's
yawn.
like watching smut, like it's going to turn my nose on or
That's
something.
right. Yeah. We did also find some ground pepper here. Now, I don't
Just
actually
put it in my hand. Is that?
I guess I don't want to be the one to, like, throw it in your face. But did you get some?
This is the weirdest thing to do on the radio. Just
What if you cut it up in lines a little bit?
that went in my throat.
I knew that was gonna happen.
That went right through and right to the back.
So, do you feel any
it
relief?
That sucked.
Now, another one here that a few people texted in, including Sean, says to tickle your nose with a feather. Says Bugs Bunny taught me that. We don't have a feather, but we have this, they call it a dead cat. It's supposed to go over a microphone and protect it from the wind. And it's
Whose is
basically
this?
That's mine from my video.
Oh, is this
camera.
yours?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I was like, I shouldn't rub
I'm
this
giving
on my...
you permission to try and tickle yourself with it. Is that...
I feel like this is something someone else needs to do to you.
Maybe?
Like, doing it to yourself doesn't work. Like, I can't do a friendly stranger situation and sit on my hand and make it feel...
At the very least, it's getting the pepper out of your mustache, so that's good. Okay,
Yeah,
that one's
that's not
working.
doing anything, no.
You might not like this next one. This one's from Dawn. It says, pull a nose hair out. Makes me sneeze every time.
I get that.
Do you trim your nose hairs? Do you have any near the surface that you could try and yank out?
I'll
See if you can get one here.
I trimmed them over the week. Let's see. I can...
Yeah. Oh,
dude, I got like 5. Look at that.
Did it clear anything up?
No.
Do you feel any better?
Dude, I deserve the biggest bless you whenever this happens. I'm telling you that, man.
Oh, the sneeze is the anticipation is going to kill you before the sneeze ever does.
When I was a kid going to Catholic school, I used to think that we said bless you because it was Jesus was escaping your body.
And that's you, by blessing,
Every
you bring
time
him
you
back
said
in.
bless you, because they told us growing up in school, they were like, Christ lives inside you.
God lives inside us all and is constantly trying to tunnel his way out through your sinuses.
I thought every sneeze you had was the devil trying to take over.
Oh, God, bless you. Bless you.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Are you familiar with the name Terry Bush?
Terry Bush?
Terry Bush is in the news today as someone started a petition to get this man a star on the Canadian Walk of Fame.
Terry Bush. I mean, there might be some videos I've seen on a certain website, but I don't...
No.
Who's Terry
No,
Bush?
it's not. I guarantee that is not the Terry Bush.
It's a great porn name, though.
I'm talking about. Maybe this will jog your memory.
Is it the dog from The Littlest Hobo?
No, it's the guy who wrote and sings the song. That's Terry Bush.
I didn't know that.
Right?
Oh, okay.
So, this dude named Craig Baird, who he's kind of famous on social media for doing a lot of... He's got a very pro-Canada podcast. He delves into Canadian history.
And he's trying to get this guy on the Walk of Fame?
In September of 2024, he started a petition on change.org to get a star for the Littlest Hobo / Terry Bush. And he's not really specific on whether it should be one combined star, separate stars, but it's really picked up lately, and it's just shy of 10,000 signatures now.
Oh, okay.
And I thought it was interesting because with America, like the Hollywood Walk of Fame, the one outside that like Chinese restaurant down there, you can kind of pay your way in there. Like the celebrities.
I didn't know that.
They have to pay to get their star.
Oh, then that doesn't make it as cool as I thought it was.
That's kind of the thing, right? Whereas from what I was reading yesterday after I saw this survey or this petition, in Canada, like they have a selection committee, they have juries, they deliberate, they decide who's going to go on, who isn't going to go on. And so there's actual people who could see this petition. Do we put Terry Bush, the singer of one of the greatest Canadian songs of all time?
I mean, I think this song is a part of like most people's childhoods.
Canadiana.
Yeah.
At its core. But here's my question for you. If there's only one star, do you give it to Terry Bush? Or do you give it to London? London being the dog.
I actually think the dog deserves the star more than Terry, I'm not gonna lie.
Would the Littlest Hobo have been as popular if it didn't have that absolute banger of a theme song?
Song's amazing.
Yes.
Song's fantastic.
Right.
Dog was the show, though.
That's true.
When you think of the Littlest Hobo, you do think of the damn dog.
Let me just double check that his name is... It is London. Oh. Interestingly enough, there were actually 4 dogs that played the Littlest Hobo over the run of the show. London was the main one. He was the star. He was also in the film adaptation.
Oh, yeah, we don't need to worry about the stunt dogs.
Toro, Litlin, and Thorne also did have their shots as the Littlest Hobo.
I think they get 1 star all together like a band, you know? Like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers gets into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but it's Tom Petty that's getting all the credit. You know?
He's the one that's there to accept the award.
London's the Tom Petty of that crew.
London versus Terry Bush. Who is more deserving?
The dog.
Of the star.
The dog did so much more work. The guy wrote 1 song, that was it.
Listen, all I'm saying is that if they don't have that theme song, I don't know if we know who London is today.
If they don't have the dog, we don't have a show, my friend.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
All I'm going to say is this. When you think of the Littlest Hobo, do you start singing or do you start barking?
Well, I do start singing because they complement each other.
Well, let me ask you this. When you're at the strip club...
Where is this going?
I'm just saying it's the same thing. Are you watching for the show or are you listening to the music?
Little column A and a little column B.
To be honest, if she starts dancing to There's a Voice...
She'd be a wholesome girl then.
Please welcome to the stage, London.
Oh, thank you guys.
Cheers, Brother Jay.
Keep smiling.
I would die if someone played this song at a strip club.
Imagine you're sitting there in the front row, you're setting out your coins, you're getting ready, and all of a sudden it starts playing. I would feel like I had to leave. Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable still being...
It's a great way to clear out the bar, actually. Yeah.
Playing this instead of closing time. Like, everybody feel like, oh, man, I've done things tonight. I gotta go home. I gotta be getting on down the road.
No, but I can save her, dude. Call me London, because I'm saving her.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This happened yesterday.
I intend to resign as party leader, as prime minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process.
Yes, Justin Trudeau did announce yesterday that he will resign as prime minister.
That dude sounded so relieved yesterday. Did you notice that? Like when he walked out of the house and he had kind of like a skip to his step and he talked in a somber voice like this is sad moment.
Yeah.
But that was a man that looked like, you know what he looked like? He looked like a father of 5 that just sent his kids off to summer camp.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's just like, I'm out.
I will say, probably the best and most coherent speech I've ever heard that man give. Not a single or an odd.
I just feel like he didn't have any stress as he was doing this. I can only imagine, and say what you will about whether you like him or you don't, where he ranks in your all-time prime ministers, but he has been through the ringer these last few months from all pressure from all sides, including his own Liberal Party. He probably walked out there yesterday feeling like a man who just got a life sentence commuted.
I just wonder, does he talk like that all the time? When he's hanging out with his boys?
Could you imagine if I walked in here in the morning and you were like, hey, man, what's up? How was your night last night? And I looked at you and I was like, well, yesterday evening, the family and I gathered around the table and ate spaghetti. After which, we communed to the couch and watched YouTube fail compilations well into the night.
Hey, fellas, anybody want to grab a pint tonight?
I was wondering if there was anybody here in this group chat that would like to go for chicken wings.
The Brock and Dobby Podcast.
The biggest thing that I've been wondering is what's going to happen with all the F. Trudeau stickers? Will those stay on cars, or do you think they're going to come off?
I mean, listen, there's a reason that I've never put a sticker on any car I've ever owned. They're very difficult to take off, and they can impact the resale value.
You know what? A great time to actually open up a decal removing company right now.
There's going to be so many people that are like, oh, I guess this is over now. But also, we've seen the sentiment online in the last 24-ish hours of people who are like, no, I still mean it.
I know there's still some stop signs around this province that still have the Harper underneath them.
Oh, the Stop Harper. That's right, from near the end of his run.
I just got to imagine there's probably some poor guy in Alberta that had such a bittersweet moment where he was making so much money off of the stickers, the flags, and the shirts, where yesterday he was like, yes! And then all of a sudden he was like, damn it.
No, you know what? I bet you, because the whole movement with the flags and the stickers and the decals and all that stuff, that does not require you to have a conservative-leaning mindset or an anti-Trudeau mindset. It just requires the business acumen to recognize a market and fill it with product.
True.
So there's not even, this guy might even be a liberal voter, a left-wing supporter. He might believe in Trudeau's agendas. But he went, no, because his cash cow, unless he can start selling Pierre Poilievre merch, just went up the river.
The best part is I've seen a lot of those flags and stuff were made in China, which is so ironic in general.
The hilarity between the 3825 Trudeau flags or the Make America Great Again flags and all that stuff came from the same websites overseas, and you're just like, well, hang on a minute now.
I just wonder, do you think these F. Trudeau stickers and shirts and flags, are these going to become heritage moments? Are they going to be in museums one day?
I think, and maybe this is a controversial take, and again, I'm not the type of person that flies one of these flags. I think it's a little bit on the crass side. But I think they are so culturally relevant in our time.
It's going to be in a textbook for sure.
They should honestly be preserved to some extent, if for nothing else than future historians to look back on 2024, 2025 Canadian politics and go, oh my God, what a dumpster fire.
They're either going to be preserved or some guy's got a huge storage unit full of these. He's just going to ship off to a third world country.
It's
give them to the kids like it's the losing team from the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I don't know what a Trudeau is, but this shirt sure does fit nice.
The Brock and Dobby Podcast.
The Brock and Dobby Podcast.
It is time to play Tool Time.
$30 million potentially up for grabs in the Lotto Max draw tonight. $100 in tickets will help your odds, but only if you can give us the best impression of, you're promising me this is a plunger.
This is a plunger. I recorded this at home. Went a little ham.
My brother, what did you eat?
It's an empty toilet, by the way. Just so everybody does know, it is an empty toilet.
So much. Did Courtney from down the hall be like, what are you doing?
Yeah, she's like, what are you doing in there? All right, we've got 3 plungers on the line here. Start with caller number 1 here. Hey, good morning. Who's this?
Hey, it's Logan.
Logan, all right, my man. We need a little plunger sound from you.
All right.
That's what I came up with, but let's hear what you got. Sounds like my sleep paralysis demon. That's terrifying.
Yeah, I feel like you started out with some good plunger sounds, but yeah, it got a little demonic by the...
Are you the singer of Korn? All right, let's see what we got on line 2 here. Hey, good morning. Who's this?
Hi, it's Kylie.
Kylie, are you ready to play Tool Time?
I am.
Here's what the plunger sounds like. Let's hear your best plunger, all right?
Oh, who left these skid marks?
Oh, Kylie, too much.
That was good. That was really good. That was really good. Oh, stay on hold, Kylie. Stay on hold.
You got to appreciate it when someone goes that extra step, you know?
Yeah. That was
really painted a picture there.
accurate.
Oh, he's practicing.
All right.
Jeez.
Line 3. What's your name?
Brian.
Brian. All right.
Brian.
We got a little taste of it. Let's hear your plunger sound.
All right, try it.
Stay on hold, my man. All right, we had Logan on line 1, Kylie on line 2, Brian on line 3.
2-horse race again, I think. I feel like we can agree. This is between Kylie and Brian.
Yeah.
Kylie, I feel like Brian's impression was a little bit better, but Kylie did more world building, painted that full picture of what's going on.
It's basically slurping versus Donald Duck, in my opinion. That's the options you have right there. What's the text line saying there, Dolby?
Kylie got a lot of texts right after. We do have some texts that are starting to come in for Brian, but Kylie is in the lead on the text line.
All right, there we go. Kylie, congratulations. You are the plunger of the day. You get yourself a ding.
Oh, thank you. We've all unfortunately seen those toilets.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you get the ding and the round of applause and $100 in Lotto Max tickets. Imagine how many plungers you could buy with that big jackpot tonight.
No more plug toilets.
Yeah, you could just buy a new toilet every single time.
You could pay someone to plunge the toilet for you. How about that?
If you two happen to win the jackpot tonight, got some nickels and dimes for the fellas, or at least a new plunger?
Plungers for everyone.
Woo! Big day.
Plungers all around.
New year, new plunger.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
There was a trend in 2024 that you might not have heard of, but apparently it got way worse over the holidays. It's called seat squatting.
Seat squatting?
It's an airplane thing that apparently people are, when they're buying tickets for flights, they're not paying that extra fee to choose their seats. They're just taking whatever is assigned to them. But then when they get on the plane, they just sit wherever they want.
Oh, they're squat. Oh, I get it. Yeah, okay. I hate that.
And then when whoever is supposed to, so like maybe it's a couple and they're booking their seats far apart from each other because it's cheaper that way. And then they just take the seats next to each other. And the hope is, because I was confused, like, why would you do this?
You hope that someone's going to cower enough not to say anything to you.
That people are so against confrontation that they'll go, oh, okay, well, what was your seat? I guess I'll go sit back there.
I hate that. 2 years ago when we went to the Dominican, some guy came up to me and was like, would you mind switching seats with me so I can sit by my wife? And I was like, I'm sitting beside my girlfriend.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I'd really like... And I was, nah, dude.
That's the thing.
It's not how this works.
I will say this. I don't mind being asked. Like, if I'm flying by myself and I'm sitting next to your girlfriend, sure, I don't care. I'm going to try and sleep my way through this flight anyway. But if you ask me and I say no, then go away. Go back to your seat.
But the balls to just take someone's seat already, I hate that.
Well, and so there was this story that came out. I want to know how you would respond in this situation.
Yeah.
So there's a guy sitting in his seat, and his girlfriend seat squats the seat next to him. She's supposed to be towards the back of the plane. Another guy gets on the plane, realizes someone's in his seat, says, oh, I think that's my spot. I'd like to sit there. They try to argue like, oh, we're a couple. We got split up. We'd like to sit together for the flight. He goes, I don't care. That's my seat. Finally, the stewardess, the flight attendant, makes this girl move back to her assigned seat. And the guy, the boyfriend, spends the entire flight, which was a few hours, elbow fighting over the armrest to get back at this guy for not giving up his seat.
Everyone on a plane is just an a-hole.
Every single person.
Oh my God.
It's crazy how you walk through the door of an airplane and everybody just forgets how society works.
Yeah. I don't know. Everyone just thinks that they're in their own movie is what it is.
You know what the thing is, though? And I feel bad inside of me because there's part of me that knows how anti-confrontational people are. And I'm like, do I try this on my next flight? Do I see if I can sit in a better seat? Do I try and get me an exit row? Just by, like, seeing if somebody would back down?
I don't know. As a big guy, honestly, I think you could get away with it.
That's kind of the thing, right? Like, you know me. The people listening to the show and the podcast know me. I'm a wuss. But somebody who just sees a 6'3", 300-pound man with a big beard.
You're some people's nightmare on a plane. They don't want to sit beside you sometimes.
They're not even going to stop and fight. They're just like, I'll find an empty seat. You just stay there, big fella.
It's yours. It's yours, buddy.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Could you send me and Dalby a text? 762-555. Ask us anything you want to know. Could you send us a text? 762-555. Send us a text, we'll try to reply. No. I said no, but I mean yeah.
Obviously.
762-555, as Cher once said, please send us a text message.
I can't believe people forget about her greatest hit, that of course being, you should send Dalby and I a text.
Oh, I mean, on Thursday, I'll play you Sonny and Cher, where they said, you should text them.
I got text, babe.
First question is what's your prediction for Super Bowl winner for this year?
Who's in?
NFL playoffs do start this weekend with wild card at least.
Well, you know what?
I'm hoping the Bills, honestly.
I would love to see the Bills. Obviously, I'm a Steelers fan. I would love to see that, but they have to win on Amazon Prime on Saturday over the Baltimore Ravens, so who knows? But until such time as the Kansas City Chiefs prove that they are capable of not winning a Super Bowl, I have to take the safe bet and predict that they'll win the Super Bowl.
I would just love to see Bills fans. They'd go so nuts. So many tables would get broken if they won a Super Bowl.
The city of Buffalo would have to go, they'd have to call in the National Guard just to keep people safe.
They haven't had anything to be proud of in a long time.
Other than wings, baby.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. What's another one here? Someone said, what's the best and worst Christmas gift you got and gave? To be honest, I was a gift card guy this year on giving gifts. Me and Courtney didn't do gift exchanges, and then I don't know, man. I guess I was kind of a crappy gift giver myself.
I will say, as far as giving gifts, my parents liked them, but I still felt bad with the mail strike and them living in BC. I had to order them stuff off Amazon, and they suck at telling me what they want. So I bought them socks for Christmas, but they're like socks that have their favorite sports teams on them.
I showed up to my dad's potluck dinner, and I just brought a bunch of the Brock and Dalby mugs that we got there.
Okay, you win. That's amazing. You gave away free radio station merch as Christmas presents?
I brought 8 of the mugs and stickers, and there was 12 people there.
Jesus.
So not everyone got one either.
You're an animal.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I did get a Pittsburgh Steelers sweater for Christmas. That's probably the best one.
There you go. Someone said if you could eat only the same meal every day for the rest of your life, what's it going to be?
Pizza.
Yeah.
That's not even a hesitation because pizza can have variety to it, right?
All 5 food groups.
That's the loophole. I say pizza, but maybe today it's Hawaiian, tomorrow it's a mushroom. I could have a veggie pizza on Sunday when I'm trying to detox.
You could have a cauliflower pizza if you're trying to be real healthy.
I can eat it hot, I can eat it cold, cauliflower crust. There's a million things you can do with pizza. That is the ultimate monkey's paw loophole.
That is true. I was going to say chicken parm myself, but I'd probably get old.
Enjoy your boring tomato chicken for the rest of your life.
All right, we'll wrap up with this one here. Someone said, why does the H disappear when you shorten Thomas to Tom? I can't think of any other names that do that.
Really? You can't think of any other names that change when they get shortened?
I mean, I've never understood why Richard gets shortened to Dick.
We turn Richards into Dicks, but you're worried about the H in Thomas disappearing?
I mean, if you want to get started on names, I've talked about the whole Sean Scene thing.
Right.
Like, the spelling of Sean is ridiculous. The spelling of John is even more ridiculous.
I mean, even like people who are Johns can be referred to as Jacks, Williams, or Bills when we shorten those names.
Oh, people that name their kid Jackson with an X.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like if you are a Jackson with an X, that's not your fault. You didn't choose to live that life.
Why does Aaron have 2 A's? There's no reason for 2 A's there.
Why do some Aarons have Y's? It's all just made up nonsense and none of it makes sense. And if you have a name that's weird, your life is difficult. That's all there is to it.
Your parents tried to make you cool and they failed.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Ed's word of the day.
Let's see what he's got.
Good morning. Today's word is aplomb.
A plum?
Yeah, aplomb. APLOMB. Aplomb.
Oh.
Anyways, it's confidence or self-assurance or poise. But yeah, you gotta believe in yourself, man. That's important. Anyways, have a great one. Here's your rip.
Thanks, Dad.
A plum or a plume?
A plum. A plume is bird feathers.
Okay.
A plum is a singular fruit.
Yeah.
A plum is like, I've heard this word before. Even I don't use this word. And you know I like to use big words.
Yeah.
It really is just like, you're just really confident.
That guy's got a set of plums on him. That's how you could use it, honestly.
That's more the fruit analogy than you could say that, man, when he's in the locker room coming out of the shower, he walks with a plum because he's so confident in what he's got.
Yeah.
You wouldn't necessarily refer to them as a plums.
A plum with those plums. Some fellas got it,
Those plums make you a plum.
Yeah.
When the other fellas are around. You know what I mean?
A plum, and then have a plum afterwards.
Well, that's just good for your health.
Yeah, use the word of the day and eat some fruit, all right?
For more Brock and Dalby, tune in weekday mornings 5:30 to 9.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast is brought to you by badshop.ca, the Brock and Dalby merch store. With all proceeds going to the Canadian Cancer Society.